So if you're here, you're probably thinking of picking up this guy, the XP Pen Artist 15.6 inch display. Is it any good? Is it worth the money? Should you pick it up? Well, you've come to the right place. I'll tell you everything you need to know. And hey, while you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe. Welcome. So before I talk about the XP Pen in depth, I just wanted to kind of give a quick rundown of the different tools that I've worked with, so you can kind of understand the perspective I have when talking about the XP Pen. I started drawing in 2012. I took about 2 years off, so I think I've been at it about 6 years-ish. Initially on my art journey, I started with pencil, so everything was just shading. Then I went to colored pencils, then I went to pens, then I went to markers and oil paints, acrylics, watercolors, pretty much anything traditionally that you can do I went ahead and tried just to kind of see what all of them were about. Charcoal, pastel, all that, the whole nine. And then I wanted to try digital art, so I went and got a Wacom Bamboo tablet and did that for a little while. But kind of quickly I found the limitations of the Wacom Bamboo, and I wanted to upgrade into something a little more comfortable. So if you are kind of at a similar point in your journey as I was, where you've tried digital art and you want to upgrade, then hopefully I can help you out with some of the questions that you have to see if spending the money is worth it when purchasing the XP Pen. Alright, so let's get back to talking about this guy, the XP Pen Artist 15.6. I was drawing with the Wacom Bamboo for a while and decided it was time to upgrade. Just with the counterintuitiveness of looking at the screen instead of the actual drawing surface, I decided to go with the XP Pen. A couple of the questions I had before I bought it, which maybe I'll answer your questions as well. Does it feel more like traditional drawing? The answer is yes, it does, because you're actually looking at where the pen's going, and also the level of pressure sensitivity with this compared to some of the other cheaper just like flat tablets without a display. This one is 8,192, I believe. That could be wrong, that's from memory, but if you look, you know, if I'm just barely making contact, like if I was cross-hatching or something, you know, the lines are really small. And then if I wanted to do like a bold contour on something, you know, the line gets progressively bigger. So that's pretty realistic, and it's a pretty good feel. It really does feel like you're actually drawing traditionally. You have 6 pre-programmable buttons here. I don't have mine programmed because I use ArtRage. A lot of people use Photoshop, so they'll make use of these buttons here. ArtRage is really easy just to click and go. But you have 6 pre-programmable buttons that you can use if you want to use it for like minimizing, maximizing, or switching from brush or to eraser or whatever. Another question I had was whether this screen size would be big enough. This is 15.6 inches. So I got a couple of my like old sketchbooks just for comparison for you guys. So I mean, this is bigger than most of the sketchbooks that I was using. I got another one. This is one that I use for markers, and I mean it's a little bit more wide. It's a little bit less on the height, but it's still pretty close. And then, you know, with the digital, you can zoom in and zoom out. So I mean, you can actually kind of adjust to whatever size you want. So it's pretty versatile. So next we'll talk about some of the accessories that it came with, and also talk about the pen and kind of the relation in size to normal instruments that y'all might use. So it came with this pen holder, which is kind of more aesthetic than anything, but it is kind of handy, and it'll probably keep the nib and the pen from getting damaged in the long run. Inside the holder is extra nibs.
2 hours later.
But inside the pen holder, it actually comes with, let's see if we can get it to focus there. It comes with 8 different pen nibs. So on the pen, see if we can get it zoomed in there. You can kind of see a little bit. Yeah, there you go. On working with the surface of the tablet, it kind of gets worn down. That happened with my Wacom Bamboo as well. But it's cool that they give you 8 different nibs, so that should last a while. Also, what came with the bundle, it came with a little carrying case. So when I'm not using it, I stow it in here just to keep the surface from getting scratched or anything like that, as well as this little half Michael Jackson glove type thing, which is really a smart idea because the oils from your skin will probably you know, ruin the actual screen in the long run. So you're able to draw on this without your hand oils getting all over there. So the size of the pen in relation to normal writing instruments, this to me feels really comfortable, but I also used marker a lot with traditional work. So I mean, it's about as thick as a Prismacolor. It's a little bit thicker than a Sharpie, and it's about as thick as a Copic marker as well. So if you're used to like traditional pencil or wood pencil or mechanical pencil, it might seem a little fat, but to me it's been really comfortable. There's also 2 adjustable buttons on the pen, and again, just like the 6 to the left of the screen, you can adjust these to do any key that you want. So you could have one set to erase or one set to right click or whatever you wanted. You can customize it that way as well. So the question everyone's waiting for, should you buy it? So while I haven't used any other tablets with a digital display, I can say that this one is really good and I am enjoying it very much so far. From coming from the Wacom Bamboo and then coming into the XP Pen Artist 15.6, I have had very little regret with my purchase, and it feels almost exactly like traditional art. Line work is slightly different because the exact point that you're touching isn't the exact point that you're touching on the screen, but it's so minimal that you hardly even notice it. It is somewhat of a big purchase, so if you are just starting out with art, in particular with digital art, or if you haven't even started yet and you just want something to start with, I would not buy this as the first thing. I would buy a sketchbook and a pencil and kind of work on the fundamentals. The tools are not what makes great artists great. It is their mind, it is their practice, it is the thousands of hours that they've spent on the craft that makes them great. So don't buy this tablet thinking that it's going to improve your art, because it's not. But it's very fun to use, it's pretty easy to set up, relatively cheap comparatively to the other models like the Cintiq or the more top of the line ones. Very affordable, gives you really good quality. I've been using it almost every day for a month now and haven't had any problems with it. So I hope this was helpful for y'all's decision on whether to purchase or not. If you want to see kind of what the tablet is capable of, I have a bunch of speed paintings on my channel. You can kind of check those out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and peace.